Have you ever felt like English grammar, especially the tenses, is just impossible? If you have, you are definitely in the right place. Today, we are going to crack the code on English tenses, particularly for my fellow Arabic speakers out there. And trust me, we're going to make it make sense.
All right, let's just get it out there. The biggest question on everyone's mind is, why? Why on earth are there 12 tenses in English? It feels, way too complicated, and honestly, it's just a huge source of frustration for so many people. And this right here shows you exactly why it's so tough. I mean, look at Arabic. You've got your past, your present, and command. It's clean, it's simple. And then you switch over to English, and bam, you're hit with this crazy web of 12 different forms. So yeah, if you've been feeling confused, you're not imagining things. That's a massive jump.
But what if I told you there's a secret, a much simpler way to look at all this that cuts through all that chaos? Well, that's exactly what we're going to unlock today.
No, I'm serious. Forget trying to memorize 12 different, separate, confusing rules. What if there's just one key, one single idea that once you get it, makes everything else just click into place? And here it is. The big secret is helping verbs, or as we call them in Arabic, al-af'al al-musa'ida. Now, these aren't just little words hanging around in a sentence. Oh no. They are the true masters, the real bosses that control pretty much every tense in the English language. If you understand them, you understand everything. So, to really get how these helping verbs work, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to use a powerful metaphor. Let's actually build a picture in our minds that's going to completely change how you see English grammar. So just imagine for a second that all of English grammar is like a big city. And in that city, there's this one super important building. It's the headquarters for all the tenses. Let's call it the verb building. Okay, now here's where it gets really interesting. This whole building isn't for everyone. Inside the main 5-story building, you have what we'll call the rich verbs. Why are they rich? Well, because they have assistants. Those are our helping verbs to do all the hard work for them. And then, outside, in 2 little shacks, live the poor verbs. They're poor because they have no help. They have to do all the work all by themselves.
So who exactly are these rich residents living in the fancy building? Well, think of them as the most important families in town. You've got the B family, right? Am, is, are, was, were. Then there's the have family, have, has, had. And of course, the future family, with guys like will and shall. These are those powerful helping verbs, and they form the foundation for 5 of the major tenses.
Now things get a little more interesting. Within that group of rich helping verbs, there's a special little category. They live in the main building, sure, but they've got some very unique and frankly kind of weird characteristics.
We call these guys modal verbs. And what's so cool is that their Arabic name, al-af'al al-naqisa, literally translates to deficient or incomplete verbs. And trust me, they are called that for a very good reason.
So why are they deficient? Well, it really boils down to 2 main things. First, on their own, their meaning is totally incomplete. And second, their grammatical forms, their conjugations, are also incomplete. Let's break that down.
Just think about it for a second. If I walked up to you and just said, I can, what's your first thought? You're just waiting, right? You're thinking, you can, what? The meaning just isn't there. It's not finished.
It's the same exact thing here. If I say, I will, it just hangs in the air. It feels like a promise of an action, but the action itself is totally missing. The thought is incomplete. And one more time with she might. She might what? Go to the store, call her friend, read a book. You see? The modal verb opens up a possibility, but without another verb to finish the job, the whole idea is just a fragment. So, here's the fix. It's actually a really simple rule. A modal verb cannot work alone. It always, and I mean always, needs a partner, a main verb. And here's the key. That partner has to be in its simplest base form. No ing, no ed, nothing fancy. I can go. I will write. She might swim. See? That partnership is what makes the meaning complete. Now what about that second deficiency, the incomplete forms? Well, a complete verb like go has its 3 main forms, right? Go, went, gone. But now look at a modal verb like can. You've got the present can and the past could. And that's it. There's no third form. You can't say canned like that. It's the same for will and would or may and might. They're just grammatically incomplete.
So by thinking of all these verbs as just residents living in this building, you suddenly have this amazing mental blueprint for English grammar. You're not memorizing 12 random rules anymore, you're just figuring out where everyone lives.
And get this, with just this simple idea, the building and the shacks, we've already organized 7 of the 12 English tenses. Think about it. The 2 poor verbs in the shacks, that's your simple present and your simple past. And the 5 rich tenses in the main building, well, that's your present continuous, present perfect, past perfect, and the future simple. Just like that, more than half the tenses now have a logical home. It's incredible.
So, this is your big takeaway. This is the blueprint. From now on, whenever you see a verb tense, just ask yourself one simple question. Is this a rich verb from inside the building that has a helper, or is it one of the 2 poor verbs from the shacks, standing all by itself? That one question will clear up so much confusion.
Thinking about grammar this way, it really changes everything, doesn't it? Those 12 scary tenses, they're not some terrifying list to memorize anymore. They're just different rooms in a building waiting to be explored. So the only real question left is, now that you have the blueprint, which room are you going to explore first?